Okay, so some people have done homework. Let's see here. Okay. Okay. So, so this one I already discussed yesterday's class, right? So that's the reason I told you, right? I mean, don't come up with the issues which I have already said, right? So that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for unique issues that you found out by yourself. Okay. Okay. So let me show you what are the issues that you could have found out. So going back here. Let me quick. Okay. So give me a second.
Manu. Hey Manu, I have a quick question. Like, did you send the recorded video every day? Yeah, I didn't receive an email yesterday, so I was just concerned. I even emailed back to you, but you didn't give me a response. Yeah, I'm from Ita. Yep, that's my email. No, I didn't.
And so I wanted to check you out. So wait, why don't you try and junk email? Sometimes it goes to the junk. There's a problem with this.
Okay, I'll try that.
Yeah.
Thank you. So are you using any headphones or are you speaking with a computer speaker? Your sound is not so clear. That's
I know this is a little bit an issue here because, you know, I know it is a little bit, it's going ups and downs, right? Sometimes it's high, sometimes it's low. So,
yeah, sometimes it's cracking too.
it's actually really, I mean, not from my side. It's actually the software, it's a Zoom.
Yeah, maybe a technical problem. That's okay.
See here.
Thank you.
Okay, so see, there's a problem, right? I keep saying don't ping in chat, but people keep doing that. See here, I need to put it here, right? So send an email. Okay. So if you're not getting it, you can send an email here. Let's see here. Okay, so let's get back to here. Okay, if you are not, getting good quality, just make sure you use a good, better audio quality, which I'm sending here. Okay, every. Okay, so I'm sending you two one. Okay, better audio quality and today's one. Okay, so it's the same, but the audio quality is good. Okay, just if you are not able to hear in class properly, you can make use of it. Okay, just make use of that one. Okay, because not always situations may be in favor of you. Okay, see that's the thing, right? Let me think. Okay, so. Okay, so let's get started here. So, okay, what I was expecting was, you guys should have been, would have been done much better here. Okay, so let's see here. Now, I said like we wanted one unique issue, right? At least one. Okay, so look at this. That issue which I was looking was just right in front of your page. If you see, for example, look at this. Copyright 1997. So this is a bug, right? I don't think I got any of this homework here. Of this one, 1997. So this is not 1997, it's 2017, right? It's 2017. So that means this copyright has been outdated. So they have to renew it, and this renewing is not so easy. You need to, request a certificate and then get the license from it and just install the license into server, and then you have to update this. Okay, so that's how the process is. And so this shows it's outdated. Now this is okay for financial, maybe they don't care, but for healthcare issue, this will be a federal compliance, right? This will be a federal compliance issue. And if your event's not getting updated with time, there will be a really legal issues on this one. Okay. And of course, if companies are getting legal issues here, okay, they will point out to you. So why it was not tested before. Okay, so this is very important. So nobody have took out anyone did this. This was right in front of your page. I mean, you don't even have to do research and development on this. Just look into this page. That's it. Anyone opened this issue? Anyone came up with this? You know, there's no need of R&D on this. Okay, just look at this page. I mean, you don't have to stay at this page for 1 hour. Just take a glance. Just look at this, and you would have found this. And I intentionally left this issue because I didn't tell, I didn't tell in the class because I was expecting how good are you in taking out the issues, right? This was right in front of your face, right? This is just you don't even have to click any button. Just use this and that's it. Okay, so no one did this. Okay, another. Let's take it out. Another which I was expecting here. Okay, so if I go here, so here's the thing. When I hover my mouse over this web page, it's changing into hand cursor. You see this? That's the first thing. It's an issue. Okay, that's a very low priority. Many people don't even care, but still it's an issue, right? And when I click this, now I'm getting a server error. Now, what is supposed to do with this, right? Now, this is the issue. Okay, I would open an issue for this because first thing, it's not. This is not Amazon.com. This is images don't have URLs here. Now, this is an issue because there's not supposed to be a URL here. This is the image. Should be look like image, not an integrated URL. So first thing, it should not change into hand cursor. That is, it's doing. That's the first issue. Second, when I click this, it's going into some page which I don't even know what is all this about. Okay, this is second one. So nobody opened that. Anyone? Okay, so let's go to the next issue. Now, this is a little bit goes technically. I mean, this really requires some work, but I would not have expected this. Anyone? But let's see here. You know what? If I use this, let's say what is today? Today is October, right? Now October is like 10, right? It's 10. So you know what? We will just use some 9. Okay, that is September. No, we are in October, right? We are in October. That's 10th month, and we'll just place an order here. Look at this. If you see, you see this, what's happening? I'm using an expired credit card, and it's still going to the next web page. Okay, so you realize this is the issue. This is a bug, right? I'm using the expired credit card here. Okay. Now, obviously, I cannot use. Let's say I use this. Okay, good. This is working for me. But if I'm using the expired credit card, okay, it's going to the next page. This is a bug. Did anyone take out this bug? Okay, this is a little bit technical. Of course, I would not have expected that. Even if you did, okay, that's good. But I was really looking into this very first of this page that was copyright issue, and nobody took that one. Okay, so people who didn't do, they have second chance of doing a different web application. Okay, and some people might not even got homework, right? So that's fine. Don't worry about it. Try to do the second one. That should be good. Okay. So now let's say today, we'll discuss about test management tool, Rally. So Rally is a test management tool. So by today, I'll be giving you access for this tool. Okay. Now what is this exactly? So here's the thing where you will be writing your test cases, executing your test cases, reporting the defects. Okay. So far we have tried to open a defect, right? Yesterday we were trying to open a defect, but that's really not in the case in scenario. First, you need to write your test cases. Okay, that is the first step you will be doing it. But since because I was trying to make you learn how to open a defect, so that's the reason we did that first. But really, this is the first thing you need to do, because first write the test cases, then you execute it, right? When executing the test cases, you'll find bugs. not, even you can find bug any point of time, but that is the procedure which we need to follow. Okay, so once you log in, let's say if you log in, and just make sure once you get access, please don't delete any test cases here, okay? Here, I'll be taking it easy. I don't care really if you're deleting my test case or if you're deleting my results, but make sure you don't do that in real time because that will be a serious issue. Okay, I'm just telling you beforehand, okay? You guys do whatever you want here, delete it, someone else's work, so many people have deleted a lot of work. I don't care, but really, if you're doing that in your work, you'll be really in trouble. Okay, so just don't do it. Okay, so just don't remove anything. If you're not able to understand, you can reach out to me. Always, this communication skills plays a major role, right? If you don't know, you reach out to someone, or you try to figure it out yourself without damaging some other's work. Okay, just make sure you understand that. But if you are really deleting someone's work, see, last time somebody deleted my test case, right? See, here is I've written this case, somebody deleted that. So make sure you don't do this, okay? Just don't delete anyone's test cases, anyone results, okay? Just don't do it. If you are not able to create something, or if you're stuck, reach out to me, okay? Or if you're not, if you don't know, if you don't want to reach out to me, that's fine, okay? Some people have created their own user story and try to write in that you can do that too, you just don't need to worry, but just don't delete anything, okay? Okay, so this is the dashboard. Okay, so let's go to here, dashboard, once we go here. Okay, so once you log in into it, this is the dashboard. The normal dashboard. See, this is useful because let's say your boss gave you work, okay, and you don't know, boss doesn't say, right? They just give you work, and you don't know when, you cannot ask when did you give and where is the work. Okay, this is really not the issue. Thing is, once they give you work, this dashboard, if you organize it properly, it shows right here that you have assigned some work for you. So here you can, that's a use, as point of me, right? I take that as a useful because, what, my boss doesn't say just give directly work, 3-4 work suddenly, and it suddenly shows up in my here and I see, oh, it got work, I don't know. When it was, yesterday, oh, really? So that's how it is, okay? So you cannot argue with your boss saying that, hey, when did you give? Why did you give? Just don't do such kind of thing. Okay, it's not meant to argue with anyone. Okay, so that's the use of this dashboard. Okay, so if any word comes out here, it shows up right here. Okay, which is the user story, which is one here it shows. So that's dashboard use. But here really, once you get some work, let's say. First, you need to understand which project you're working on. Here, for simplicity, we have just 4 projects. Really, it's not the case. There are thousands of projects. If it's a big company, that is beyond 1,000. So there's a lot of things happen. Okay, so first you need to understand which project you're working on. How would you know? Check with the lead. Communication. That's the reason you need to have communication. You need to check it out with the lead, saying that, hey, what? This is the project. Which project will I be working on? I have this access with the 2-3 projects. These are the 2-3 projects I'll be working on. Okay, so you need to check it out with your lead, saying that which project. Once you select this project, so now you are in that project, and then you go to the user story. So user story is like what? Requirement. So that's a requirement, and based on that requirement, you need to start your testing. First start writing your test cases. Okay. So let's say this is a lot of user stories here. You don't know. Of course, you need to find which user stories you're working on. Again, you need to check out with the lead or business analyst. Business analyst, will be having a pretty good idea, but it's again, you need to be very careful. It's always better idea to check it out with the lead. Okay, unless you have some good rapport with your boss or with your team members, you really don't want to give a wrong impression by going out to some other people and getting wrong answers. Okay, so you don't want to do that. So in that case, it's better to check it out with the lead or with your colleague. Okay. And because just because you don't know someone, right? Just you don't know someone and you don't want to give a wrong impression about yourself. So I'd say, better check with the lead, or unless you are very good with the rapport, you have good communication skills, so it doesn't matter. Okay. So here, once you, let's say I know my user story. Okay. Once you check it out with the user story, once you figure it out which user story you'll be working on, let's say mine is US 171 US instance user story. Okay. And GMO website. Okay, let me click on this. And once I do this, here the schedule says, okay, this is no way you are changing it, because this is really not your job to change anything, because you are not a BA, you are a tester. So here what you need to is, you need to understand what's here in this user story. Okay, so this user story will be pretty complicated. It will not be, of course, it will not be simple. Why? Because this user story is made in sense of so many people. Okay, this user story you'll be having access to project manager, business analyst, you know, um, architect, developer, tester. If any other team people, they will be also involved. A lot of people here. Okay, so you're not alone. You're not alone. You're not just doing alone. You are with a lot of people. So it's really the language they write here will not be that simple to just to understand. Okay, this is what I will be doing. It's not really always that simple. Okay, because a lot of people are involved and a lot of people will be writing in their own language. Okay, because they will be writing in sense of project manager will be writing in own sense of based on project. Business analyst will be writing in their own sense of. So there's a lot of things happen. So you need to understand by in this paragraph or some information what is written here and figure it out what you're supposed to do. Here I made it simple. This is pretty easy. Just don't expect this cakewalk kind of thing and your project is really not that simple. Okay, simple, that's good for you, but it's not really always the case. Okay, you need to coordinate. Coordinate. If you don't understand, you need to coordinate or read it. So first thing I'd say, read it twice, read it thrice, read as many as times until you get it. Okay. If you still don't get, then you need to check it out with business analyst or lead. Other than that, before reading, if you're going it, that's really not a very good idea. Okay. I don't think that will be a good idea always. Okay. Just you need to first read it and understand it, so that you can also explain what did you understand with this. Okay, so that would be a plus point for you. Okay, so this is the user story, and now I see this. Okay, it's easy because I want to verify all the functionalities. Okay, that's good. Now let's go back here. Okay, let's see here in the task. So this is your job task. See, normally task you can create by yourself, or lead can assign for you, or directly your boss can assign the task for you, or yeah, most of the time that's how you can do, or you can create yourself, right? What the reason, because this task is actually to keep the time. How much time are you taking to execute your test cases? How much time are you taking to complete all the work? Okay, that's a task, because you will be involved not just one project, one to many. Okay, you don't know. So many, you may be involved in so many projects. So that's for that reason you need to create tasks. Let's say, so let me create one task. Okay. So I'll be putting as functional testing for GMO Online, and click on admin details, and I'll just change it to task estimate. Let's say I create this in 10 hours. Okay. I'll just complete this task in 10 hours. This is normally in hours. Okay, it's rarely uses in hours. Okay, now I'll be writing as okay, okay, and I'll okay, and once I've done that, click on create, and click on done. So I have successfully created a task here. Okay, and again, what's the use of this task? Task is to maintain your time frame, what you're trying to do, because this will be monitored by your boss. Okay, what you're trying to do and how much time are you spending on each task. Okay, let's say you're working on some functional testing. So your functional testing, how much your time you're taking, 10 hours to do 10 hours. So today it was 10, tomorrow obviously the value has to be changed because you have spent some time on working on this, right? So tomorrow again you need to change it. Otherwise, if you're leaving this as it is, then it just becomes very suspicious, because how come you came to office and you didn't do any work? Okay, now you need to give an explanation for that. Okay, so whichever task you're working, so you need to change the numbers here. Okay, so that's the use of the task, to maintain the time. Okay, in rally. So normally it's in rally. Okay, any questions so far? Okay, so no questions. Let's quickly go to the test cases. We have this time. Okay, so okay, good. Now once you go to the test cases module, right? Okay, so in the, say somebody asked, right, to repeat. Okay, so for the task, so why do first thing what you need to understand is, why do you use this task? You use this task to maintain the time frame. This is useful for your boss to track your work. Okay, and if you're not doing this, somebody will assign you, or somebody, it might be different scenarios. Okay, your lead might be giving you some work, so they'll add you this work. Okay, they'll just change your owner name, and this right goes into your box here, and you'll see the new task has been added for you. Or they will be, your boss will be using it to assign you work, or you can create your own task depending on the work you're involved in. Let's say you're involved in 3 projects, 4 projects, then you need to create for 4 tasks and say, you know what, I really didn't get a chance to work on this project because I'm involved in 2 to 3 projects, so I worked on that project. So that's the reason for creating this task. Okay, and this is the time frame estimate, how much estimate and how much time is left to do. Okay, so let's go to quickly test cases. So this test cases, so here's the thing, before opening defects, before doing anything else, okay, we need to write the test cases. Okay, this is how it goes. Okay, first you need to, first we need to work on documents, so the test plan, test strategy. Okay, but then once you're done with that, then you need to, start working on this rally and start creating your test cases. Okay, so let's say, I go to the test case module. This is a module. And once I hover my mouse over this action, we look at this action, and I want to create new test case. Okay, I click on this new test case. Okay, some people are not able to get this. If you don't, get this option, try a different browser, or you can reach out to me. Okay, so I will, try to see if anything is there. Okay, because some people were not able to, because they were using Mac and they were using into Chrome, so might be there was some issue with the. Might be this is not compatible with the Chrome, Max Chrome, so that's why it is. But then I tried to tell them to use a Safari, then it worked. Okay, so that's some of the scenarios, okay, which you can work it out if it is not working for you. Okay, or you can reach out to me. Okay, so here I'll be creating a test case, testing GMO, okay, and I'll use some tags, GMO online. Just put this tags. And here, description. Okay, so this is a description I'll be writing to test all the functionality and features of a GMO online project. Okay, Now, if you have an attachment, you can go ahead and put an attachment. Really, at this point of time, I don't have attachment, so I'm not using that. And the owner, so normally owner is owner of the test case is always you. Okay, unless a big company and you're just hired to only write the test cases, that's a different story. But otherwise, always you own the test case and you execute the test case. Okay, so you are responsible for writing any test cases and any execution part. Okay, to make sure you are the one who is responsible. And which project? So I know I'm in the right project. Unless I'm working in different project and I want to create for the different project, then you can change the project here. Okay, expedite. Now I don't want to expedite. Expedite is used to again, if you want to test and you want to expedite your work, you can click on this. So really, it's not really required at this point of time. And objective, its objective is to test functionalities and features. So we'll just put it there. And work product, you can change the work product if you like. Which work product are you working on? Okay, if you know, and you can either search, or if you know the work product, let's say 171, you need to put US story and search for 171. Here you go, and you can click on that and choose that particular work product. Okay, so that's the so this why this is for linking your test case to that particular user story, right? I mean, this is a user story. Obviously, you're linking your test cases because, of course, right? Because business analysts will see if there are any test cases. Have you written? Have you done your work or not? That's the reason you need this linking part. Now, what type of test? Of course, we are doing functional testing here, so we'll just put functional. And is it manual or automated? So we'll go ahead with manual. Priority, go for important. Risk, medium. Okay. Preconditions. Precondition in sense, before executing these test cases, what are the requirements that has to meet, right? So here, what are the preconditions? So here, let's see. So here, code has to be deployed in QA environment. Before that, we cannot really do testing, and the smoke testing for this specifically has to be completed to start my, functional testing. Okay, so that's the.
Excuse me, sir. Hello.
Yeah.
Sir, can you please repeat? It is a little fast, and I could not catch on.
Okay. So, which one, like the complete one you want to repeat, or which one do you want?
Not the complete one. Just repeat just before this one.
So this one. Okay.
Yes.
So this is a type. So see this red color. This red color means it's mandatory field. So that means you need to specify what are you trying to do. Is it acceptance testing? Is it functional testing? Is it performance testing? Is it regression, and so on? Okay. So what type of testing are you trying to do? So here in this case, we'll just go ahead with functional. Okay. And the coming with method, what method? Manual or automated? Manual. Okay. So this is mandatory field. You see this red color? That's why it's in red color. Okay, so this priority and risk are optional. You can either put it or you don't. Here we'll just put as important and risk as medium. Okay, it's optional. And after that, you go to preconditions. Preconditions means this before actually writing your test case, before executing your test cases, this is the requirement. Preconditions. It's precondition. What have you, if you have to do this, what did you complete that previous work? Because you cannot proceed if you don't complete the previous work. So that's what it means by preconditions. So here, I mean, These two things, this code has to be deployed in QA environment. So we cannot do testing in dev environment in production. Really, that's really not, I don't advise, even I hope project managers, scrum masters won't advise to do all this in production. Really not a very good idea. But yeah, if you're running late or if you're running, low years, so you need to do that. So otherwise, this is the scenario. Code has to be deployed in QA environment to start testing. Okay, then smoke testing has to be completed before starting functional testing. You want to make sure smoke testing is done. I mean, this is not for all projects, but only projects which is really requires that. Okay, it's really not required for all of the projects. It's based on company and the project you're working on. Okay, next go to the post conditions. So post conditions we put as, let's see. And regression testing has to be completed, and next is code should be deployed into production. Okay, this is two important things. Okay, so once you have done that, okay, notes, if you have notes, okay, you can just keep it here. So, okay, yeah, so somebody asked what is regression testing. So I have actually already told about this in the first class. So hope you want to refer that one. Regression testing is once you have you have done with the you'll be doing a lot of testing, right? Once you have done with a manual, and let's say if developer finds out some issue, you want to tell the developer so you need to wait till regression testing is done. Regression testing is done by separate team. Okay, that is done by a separate team. Once integration testing is done, you are you want to start your regression testing, and that is you will be using a tool called UFT or Selenium or QTP. We will be using a tool to start testing for that. Okay, they are not doing manually. So automated testing. So automated testing is called regression testing. Okay, so that's about it. And then let's go to here. Okay, now we'll start writing these test cases. Okay, so here's the thing. Steps. You have the steps, right? So there are two fields here. Okay, what is the input and what is the expected result? Okay, so that's what we are will be working on. What are you trying to do and what is the expected result? Okay, so here what I'll be doing is let's see here. We go back to the website. Okay, and what happens after you do this? Page is okay. So home page of GMO Online is displayed as per the requirement. Okay, so that's the first step. Okay, now we'll start writing here. So to create additional steps here, because you see only one box, right? You can create a number of boxes here. Okay, so if you see this action steps, click on that. Once you click on that, click on one. This is a lot of option 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll stick to one. You can go ahead with 5 and you'll get 5 boxes. Okay, and once you do that, Okay, you see this again in new box, it showed up. Okay, now you need to start writing here test case. Let's say here I want to write test case. Once this web page is displayed, I want to write, click on enter GMO online. So let's say I'm testing that button, right? Okay. So enter GMO online button. So what is the expected? Expected page is navigated to see. Let's see what happens. So this is online catalog page. You see this online catalog page, even the URL shows that online catalog page. So I just put as page is navigated to online catalog page. Okay. Now again, I want to write one more test case here. So this is one step. Next step, I want to go ahead and click on add action step and click on one. Again, this page gets refreshed and you get one more box here, two boxes. Again, what's the input? So here we went to different web page, so I'll just put as 10 here. So what I'll do is enter the value for 3% dome tape. Okay. Enter the value for 3% dome tape in the order quantity as 10. Okay. And click on place an order button. And okay, so what happens? The page is navigated to, let's see which page it was. So let me go to this. Okay, so page is navigated to billing and information page. No, it's no place an order page. Okay, let me just place an order page. Okay, once you do that, click on so this is one test case, right? Let's see. I want another step. I click on this again. I click on one, and once I do this, okay. So now here's the problem. You see this problem? Now this is my third test case, not second. Here it's showing us second. You see this? This is not second. Second is this, right? So now I don't want this. I don't want this as a second test case. I want this as a third test case. So what I want to do is click on this action menu. See this? For every setup box, you have these two options here. You see this? One is action step and action menu, right? Okay. So if I do this, click on that, and you want to do is move step down. Okay, once you do that, okay, and this part shows up in third view. That's how you can change your step. Okay, from moving forward, I'll not be using this because I know what's the issue about this, and now I'll be using this one. Okay, and access step, which is located right after the each set of fields. Okay, so I'll be using this option. Okay, so somebody asked a question, right? Is manual testers related to only functional testing? No, manual testing can be done for almost anything, right? Even if you're ETL, that's sometimes you have to do manual testing in the ETL, then there's something called as manual testing for ETL. Okay, and then when there's a QA, there's a functional, there is a UAT, user acceptance testing. So all these comes under manual. Okay, manual doesn't mean that it's just a functional testing. Manual means you're doing, you're not using any tool to do that. That's what it means, manual. Okay, all this ETL testing, UAT testing, okay, integration testing or whatever it is, this comes under all in the manual. Okay, we are doing specifically to functional testing. Okay, so that's the reason we're seeing this functional. Okay, now once you completed that, let's click on proceed with order page. So what I'll do is click on okay. Now what's happening is here page is navigated to billing and information page. Okay. Okay. Now let's see this. If I fill all this information here, let's fill up this. And we'll just use this. Okay. So here. Now I want to create one more test case. Now I'm not using that option now. I'll be using this moving forward. Okay. Let's click on one. Now this will become my fourth test case that okay. Now I'll be just using enter all the information. And click on place the order button. Okay, what happens is page is navigated to, let's see here, online store receipt. Oops. Okay, now if I want to create one more test case, let's see if I want to create one more, click on one. Okay, so I didn't understood your question. If you have any question, just unmute your mic, okay, because the question is a little bit confusing. Okay, so once you've done this, click on the return to home page button. Let's see here. And page is navigated to home page of Geomo Online. Let's see here. Will it work? Okay. Return to home page. Okay. Any questions? So once you do this, click on this is save and close. Okay. Now once you open this, now here you see this, your test case is successfully, you have written the test case. Any questions so far? Okay, now you can view this by clicking on this and you can see what are the test cases you have written. So what happens, right? You really need to do a lot of testing. We are written on, we have, this is very small. This is really not the case. Okay, what you want to do is you'll be doing a lot of things than this. Okay, so what you will be doing is all this. What you can do is just put it, because you want to write 20, max 20 test cases, not more than that. If you're using a lot of time in just writing your test cases, then you are actually your efficiency will be decreasing. Okay? You have to test that application too. So really you don't have that much time to write your test cases. So 20 will be max. Okay, if your people tell you to write 40, 50 test cases, then that's really not a good idea unless someone else is testing. Maybe that's your job, only your job to write test cases. That's a different thing. But if you are going to test, then you'll be having very limited time. So make sure you want to include as much of information here in the test case. That would be good. Because here you need to do positive scenarios, negative scenarios, and boundary values. So you want to do this. Here you want to write this. Okay, so this one you want to write in short and you want to give some information, because when you and click on save and close. Okay, so what happens, right? So you see this. Okay, so you are writing all this. Okay, okay. So now once you have done this, okay, this is not done yet. Okay, so we are not done. So now what you have to do is, we have just written a test case. Okay, now you want to execute this test case. Okay, just writing the test case is not enough, right? Writing test case is really not the point. The point is, have you executed the test case? Let's see here. To execute this test case here in this rally, there are three icons. This is located at the corner right window. You see these three icons here. This is this cross and tick mark icon. That's called execution. Okay, so result. Actually, that's a result. And the other icon shows pencil and paper. That is edit. If you want to edit it, you can use that. And if you want to copy this, you can do that. You can copy it and change it. Okay. Okay. Again, if you guys are copying it, just make sure you guys remove this copy option here, right? You don't want to look. It should look like professional. You don't want to see that copy off and you just leave it just like that. So many people did that. Okay. I said to homework, when I told you guys to do homework, they just copied my test case. That's fine. I have no issues with that, but you need to change this heading. So this doesn't look good. This is a professional, right? Copy off. Whoever looks into this, it's really doesn't look good. That everybody knows you copied, but you don't want to show that you want to copy, right? So make sure you're working on that one. Okay, just don't copy blindly and just put just like that. Okay, so make sure you guys give that importance to that thing. Okay, now once I click on this, click on result. Now you need to fill up all this information. Build. So build, you need to check with your lead. Which build is this? You know what? Let's keep 18 for this. Verdict. Verdict means, is it fail? Is it pass? Or is it inconclusive? So I'll just put as pass, and date is today's date. It's good. Duration. Let's say put it for 10 hours. and we put just notes as okay. Make sure you write some small notes like what you're trying to say here, and have you successfully completed or not. Okay, so you want to use this notes. Okay, and one important thing which I didn't say is attachment. So now this is a very important topic here, which I'll be giving less time for this. We have only 3 minutes here, so but I'll be I'll be taking 5 to 10 minutes. Okay. So okay, so somebody asked a question, right? How do you know build is that number? So build, you need to check with your lead, because lead will be he or she is working for a long time. They know which build is going on. Okay, what version of the software is. So all this you can check with your lead, or if you are not, then you can check with your colleague, or sometimes if you're lucky enough, your boss sends information that what, use this build number, because this is going to this build, so make sure you guys use that build. Okay, so that will be the build number. But of course you need to figure it out. Nobody will tell you. Okay, that this is the thing you need to understand. Nobody will tell you. You need to figure it out. How you do it it depends on you. Okay, make sure, that's the reason you need communication skills here, right? You need to communicate properly to your lead or to your boss, or okay, so you don't want to directly interact with the boss. Okay, it's really not a very good idea always, unless the boss calls you, but you want to interact with your lead and make sure things are good at that point of time. Okay, so attachment, let's see here what is attachment here. Now let's go back here. So we didn't discuss about this. No, now here's the thing. So build, now I explained, so in my first class, right, I explained what is the build. It's similar to version, okay? It's a versioning, and it's normally the middleware team normally runs, so which build it is, that is, it depends on how they are using it and how they are implementing it, okay? So that's completely a different thing, and so it's basically the software version, which version you'll be using it, okay? Okay, so here, now here's the challenging part, right? You have completed your test case and you said like you have executed it, okay? And once you have executed it, now there's an issue in the production, okay? This is an issue in production, and you get a call from directly in your desk, okay? Your boss calls you, hey, you know what? Can you stop by at my desk now? If you get such kind of calls, you need to understand that you really have a good reasons for your questions that your boss will be asking you. Okay, your boss will be asking some really questions that you need to be really in a good position to answer them. If you are not able to answer them, then really you will be in trouble. Okay, now they'll ask you, okay, there was a production issue, and you were a responsible tester, and why there was an issue. Okay, that's a very good question. The question is, there's a production issue there, and you are a responsible tester for this, and how come there was a production issue when you tested an application? How would be, because there's spending a lot of money is being spent on this project, and how can you actually, get an issue there, right? You're hired to make sure that, fix the issue, right? You need to open defects, and that's the reason you're hired. But if you are doing the work and still you're getting production issue, now that's really a problem, right? Now what you want to do is you need to have evidence to support your answer, right? Now you can say, hey, you know what, I've just tested it, you look at this. Now that doesn't suffice. That doesn't help at all, because your boss will be looking, okay, you have tested it. Where is the proof, right? So that's a very good question. Where is the evidence that you have done work? Okay, now there you need to work a little bit. Okay, so here's the thing. Whenever you're doing testing, you need to take screenshots. Now without screenshots, I never recommend, till date, I always use a screenshots. If you're not using screenshots, now, there is no evidence that you have tested it, and your boss will be up to it because boss is always right. You're not putting any evidence. It says, okay, you have not tested. Simple. Okay. So now they're right because you are not able to show some proof that you have tested it, right? Now here's the thing. So whenever you're testing, you want to take the screenshots here. That's a pretty quick here. We'll just be. So the way I do it is little different. You can follow this, or it's up to you. But I would always recommend to everyone to have this, evidence, because that will help you out. Okay, that will help you out in the long run. Okay, so this doesn't show up yet. So once you go ahead, okay, good. Yeah, let's see. Use this paint, and once you do that, I'm going to search for this. Yeah, this is pretty slow. Okay, good. So just keep it this aside, and now to use. Okay, good. I got this. Okay, now so what I'll do is I'll just whatever screenshot I've taken this here. Let's say I'll take this screenshot. Okay. Once I've used this, put it here. Now I want to use this because only information what is required for me to be using it. So I'll be using this one. And paste it here. Oh, this one is supposed to be updated, so it's getting so slow. Okay, so once you've done that, click on next and press 10. Okay, good. This one. Okay. Now what I'll do is take a screenshot and use this new. Okay, and once I do this, go to the next place an order page. Once you get this, take a screenshot. Use this. And Proceed with order. Okay, take your screenshot. And place the order. Screenshot. And that's it. We just save this as a result. So we have successfully created, the all the screenshots we have put into one document. You can use MS Word or you can use any other tool. It don't have to be MS Word. You don't have to be Paint or it don't have to be anything. Once you created it, this is a result. Now what you have to do is go to the rally and click on attachment. Click on choose file. Once you do that, click on result, and once it gets uploaded here into this, description is result. Just put result and click on save and continue. Okay. Now, if you see here, there's a plus icon shown up here. If you see this, you see the successfully executed test cases for GMO. How do you know? Go ahead and click on edit, and you see this result are dark. That is what it means that you have successfully, created. So what happens, right? So why do you need that? So that is the reason where let's say your boss checks your work, and now you have this evidence saying that what, we have tested this, and there was no issue at that point of time because we closed it, and all this result is documented, and you can view my results. So this is the result. So they will be looking into this, and they see any bugs here, they will see. Okay, so that is useful for you. Okay, because when your boss questions you, okay, now it says, okay, where is your result? Okay, how do I know you have tested it? So now you can show this document saying that, hey, you know what, you can check it out. It's in my result section, and you can check it out my work. I've successfully completed all the test case, and there were no issues at that point of time, and we tested it, and it was good. Does it make sense? So now you have really good reason of, because it will not come up to you, right? It's you are really, there are a lot of things that can be screwed up, right? And there might be a lot of things that happens in production. The problem is developer keep on changing the code, keep on doing something. Okay, now if you don't show up your result properly, then you are the one who will be responsible. Now it's no more, because you know what, you have shown the document here saying that, hey, you know what, at that time it was good. Not sure exactly what happened, because at that point of time when we tested it, it was very good. So this is the result for that. So that's the result. You need to have that evidence for your testing. Does it make sense? So even if you are caught, so you can say that it was working at that time. Not sure what happened later. How many people are testing this? I'm not exactly sure, but we tested it and it was really good. So that now the next question of your boss will be not that aggressive. So, okay, That would be a very aggressive question saying that, okay, good, you have tested it. How do I know that you have tested it? Now you can show, okay, you check it out, this is my document, you can look into it and you can do this. Okay. Okay, any questions so far? So make sure you guys, I will be really not worrying about this, if you're doing homework, I'm not really worrying about this, this document, which I've shown you right now. But it's completely optional as my point of view, but it's very highly recommended because it's for you, right? You might get anytime, you can get a call from your boss anytime saying that, hey, you know what, can you stop by at my desk? So now if you get such kind of call, now you really need to have really some good reason to support your answers. Okay, you really need to have some really good evidence saying that this is what we tested and this is all good at that time. Any questions? So here what we have done is we have created a document putting all the screenshots. And why do we need that? For your evidence, because your boss will ask you saying that, you have tested it, it's good, but how do I know you have tested it? So in that case, you don't want to, you don't look like blindly, right? You don't want to look like that. So you need to say that, hey, you know what, I've documented this. Why don't you check it out, my attachment, and see, I've documented all those things. So that's the, Okay, so yeah, so people who have, you can, view the recording whenever you're free time, or you can, have this better audio quality. I know quality audio quality is not good, maybe that's the reason you're not able to hear it. That's fine. You can check it out here. Whenever I'm giving you homeworks, make sure better quality audio, you can use that one. Okay. Yeah, I know the audio was not good, so you might not able to understand completely. So that's fine. You can check the better audio quality. Any more questions?
Hey Manu, I have a quick question. So to write the test cases, we need to refer to the BRD made by business analyst?
Right. So here is the functional point of view, right? You want to refer FRD document, functional requirement document.
Okay.
Okay. So in this case, we really didn't do because we look into this application. This is really very easy. So this will not be the scenario all the time.
Okay. So in the FRD, there will be the use cases made by business analyst, right?
Right.
So they will provide the use cases to us, and we're going to create the test cases.
So mostly you will be writing based on the screenshots. They will be having the screenshot FRD. So we'll go to the FRD document. Okay. So what we'll have, they'll have screenshot. They'll have some information. If the next page is there, what is going to happen in the next page. Okay. All this will be there in the FRD document.
Okay. Thank you.
Okay. Okay, so people who didn't understood, okay, can go to the video once, okay. better audio quality or however you like it, because of course audio is not good. If you are still unable to understand, okay, you can drop me an email. We'll set up a call, and check which one are you interested in, what are your questions. I would recommend first go to the video, what I've said, okay, go through it and try to understand what's happening, okay. After that, even if you still don't understand, then you can, send me an email, and I can show you again once again. Okay. Okay. So if no one has any questions, can we close this class for today? So here's the thing. So that's what I'm trying to say, right? If you're not able to, I'm not sure how much you guys are getting. Okay, so what my thing is, just try to go to this, video what I have said today, right? Just try to go, or you know what? Let's see here.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hi, sir. Do we need to talk to our related consultancy about your audio problem, or you're going to fix it by tomorrow? Because it's really very hard to understand
Yeah,
what
just try
you are
to
teaching
can
to
you
us.
try to check with HR, respective HR, because that's really, from my point of view, it's good. There's no issue, but just can you try to check with respective HR?
Yeah, I'll speak to them. And one more question for you. Can you go a little bit slowly and steadily that we can understand? Because I think it's only for me or it's for all, but you are going very fast and it's really very hard to understand what you're going to cover it.
The reason I'm going fast, because we have less amount of time. If you can spare,
Yeah, yeah, I understand. We have less amount of time, but it's not going to worth it if you finish it very fast and we can understand nothing.
right? If you are like 1.5 hour, if you can give 1.5 hour, I can go slower, and much we can go much in detail. But I understand some people have class right
If,
now.
if you go if you go too fast and I can't understand nothing from you, then that's waste of time for you and for me too.
Right. So
So my suggestion is please go a little bit slowly. Thank you.
okay. Okay. Any more questions? Okay. Thank you, guys.